Welcome all the students. Now we'll discuss about last module for the program. First year base agriculture honors for the subject agricultural engineering for second semester of course code engineering 121, and the title of the course is soil and water conservation engineering. The name of this module is watershed monitoring and evaluation. I am Mr. Vinod Adkari, assistant professor, Don Bosco College of Agriculture, Sulkurna, Kepe, Goa. The outline of this module is scope of watershed program evaluation, types of watershed program evaluation, indicators for watershed program evaluation, and different stages of watershed program evaluation. At the end of this module, students will be able to learn about what is the scope of watershed program evaluation. Next is the different types of watershed program evaluation, what indicators we can use in this evaluation program, and different stages of watershed program evaluation. So the scope of watershed program evaluation, as we studied watershed is a hydrological entity, we have to combine different peoples in this watershed management. So it is a multi-dimensional task which is generally performed at different times during the implementation of watershed program. So the watershed evaluation is either we can do a quantitative or qualitative evaluation. Two types of evaluation we can do here. So qualitative evaluation reflects a very simplistic view that really takes a single form that can be pursued and measured objectively. On the other hand, qualitative evaluation reflects a more constructive view, implying that the reality can have multiple versions. So there are a rising interest in mixing both this qualitative and quantitative evaluation. So it is called as a mixed evaluation. First types, that is quantitative evaluation of watershed. Here we can use different approaches. First approach is before after study. So the before construction of watershed, after construction of watershed, that evaluation things we can do in this first approach. Second is the with without watershed. So that study we can do. This study is useful when no baseline data are available. That type of with without approach is used where no baseline data is available. This is often the case when the evaluation is commissioned after a watershed program or watershed project has been implemented. We can find out the cost benefit ratio, and we can come to know that either that watershed program is beneficial to that area or not. Second evaluation is the qualitative evaluation of watershed. In contrast to quantitative evaluation, qualitative evaluation typically place less emphasis on measurement of different factors and more on the context, on the understanding the subtle manifestation. The objective is not to obtain a numerical estimate here in this qualitative evaluation. So here in-depth understanding of an issue by probing, clarifying and listening to the stakeholders or the peoples or the farmer in that area. Likewise, the problems are solved. And third evaluation is the mixed, that is we can mix previous two evaluations to evaluate the watershed. Here researchers are mixed evaluation of watershed programs for various reasons. Here qualitative and quantitative components may be used either sequentially or in parallel or in integrated fashions. When qualitative and quantitative components in a mixed evaluations are used in an integrated manner, the information and data collected from one activity is used for some other activities for evaluation purpose also. Different indicators for watershed program evaluations are there. Based on that, we can measure the targets or goals before constructing the watershed project. So these indicators are there. First indicators is the technical indicators. Here we can measure different parameters from that watershed, like soil loss, how much soil loss we can control before after, then runoff, amount of discharge in the stream and amount of sediments in the flowing water at the outlet point, then how much water table is improved in that area, what is the condition of soil moisture in summer season. Likewise, parameters we can measure in this technical indicator. Next, second indicator is the common property resource indicator. We can call it as a CPR indicator also. So in these indicators, we can measure the productivity of the crop, then further production, then productivity from the forest, likewise, or animal husbandry, milk yield from that area. We can measure this all the component. It is comes under this CPR indicators. Third indicator is the institutional building and community organizations. Different government institutes like Jilla Parishad, then district administration, Taluka Panchayat, all village panchayat also are the institutes, government institutes, and some private agencies also coming into this watershed program like BIF or water NGOs are there. So all these institutes are come together and we can evaluate that watershed based on different parameters. So all these about this institutional building and community organization indicator. Next is the ecological improvement indicator. So biodiversity of that area, particular watershed if you selected, we can check different parameters. Either it is that erosion is controlled, biomass indices we can measure, what is the quality of water, uh, then slopes, the how many gullies are there, the size of gullies, the quality of the soil, quality of the water, organic matter content of the soil. All these parameters are comes under this biodiversity or ecological improvement indicators. Fifth one is the economic and social indicators. Here we will measure the living standard of the peoples. How many peoples are under below poverty line or above poverty line? What is the standard of life of the peoples or farmers in that area? So all these are parameters comes under this economic and social indicators. And last indicator is the essential service indicators. As we are human beings, we require some basic needs. We require here. We require schools in our area, nearby area. We required good hospitals. We required good roads. We required good drinking water facilities. So likewise, we will measure all these criteria is there or not. Then we can come to know that the effect of that watershed in that area. So these are the important indicators for this watershed management. Next, different stages of watershed program evaluation. Different stages are there. First is the baseline evaluation. Before construction of watershed or before construction of any project, we have to do some baseline studies. So this is the evaluation in the initial planning stage. Here, the data on hydrometeorological or economical, social, physical and biological parameters are provided for this evaluation. Next is the midterm evaluation. This is done in the middle of the watershed. In this stage, initial problems in the planning are overcome and some inputs to the target population is commenced and their response can be observed in this midterm evaluation. Third is the terminal evaluation. This evaluation is done at the end of the project economic life. It indicates the efficiency of project, accuracy of the project estimates. So this is the terminal evaluation. And last is the post terminal evaluation after end of the project and after 5 to 10 years of completion of that program, we can do this post terminal evaluation. Here we can find out different parameters like BC ratio, benefit cost ratio, before after 15 years, what is the impact of that watershed on the living standard of the peoples. So we can come to know that agricultural production is increased, milk production is increased, so that definitely farmers income will be increased. So generally this cost benefit ratio should be more than 1, then only that project is viable in that area. So these are the references. Thank you.